Alright, let's compare the AVE Bassboy and the AVE Badboy. Both 15-inch subs, both active, both rated 300 watts RMS, and let's take a look inside and see which one's built better, which one's made up of better components, which drivers look better, which drivers have more power, which drivers can take more power, which amplifiers output more power, which amplifier, consumes the most power. We'll be looking at everything comparing these two speakers right here, or these two subs I should say. And we're going to we're going to figure out which one of these two subs is the better sub. Even though they don't make the bottom one anymore, I just want to do a full comparison between the two to see which one's better. I'll tell you right off the bat, the one down there is louder. The one up there, I should say, plays lower. Currently got a mixture of the two playing, so if I stand back here where the bass is, you can hear it's pretty good, but that's just a mixture of the two. But we're going to be diving in depth between these two subs to see which one is a better sub. So I'll jump over to doing that now. We'll start disassembling the subs here. I've got the drill ready to be doing this sort of stuff, so let's take a look inside both these subs and see what we can find. Alright, so I now have two empty subwoofer cabinets, both AVE subwoofer cabinets, obviously, because that was the only subwoofers I was pulling apart. But I've got the Bassboy. Let's have a look at the back of the amp module. See, it's behind me at the moment. The Bassboy 2. That is the Bassboy 2 right there, and that is the Badboy. So what they did is they changed the model name and called that the Bassboy 2. So they went from the Badboy, and then they went through the Bassboy 2. So they changed the model and then made a version 2. Nevertheless, just turning the volume up then so I can actually hear myself talking. So sorry about the clicking. Let's have a look at these cabinets right now. Let's bring over this flash here. Hopefully I didn't show anything then that I wasn't supposed to. So let's start with the Bassboy here. Let's have a look inside. We've got ports here, which are just triangles that go into the box. They're pretty deep, so there's obviously some sort of tuning happening here. Obviously that's on all four. If I just bring that closer again, you can see they come out here, and this box is acoustically treated, so it's got the acoustic foam all around the edges. Then at the back here we can see where the amp module mounts. Goes on that extra bit there where it's twice the amount of bracing, and as you can see it's got T-nuts and stuff like that. That's where the amp mounts. So this box is very, very simple, but very, very effective, and a very, very nice enclosure, well built, well constructed. You're not going to be dropping this, and it's not going to be breaking. So, I mean, if you drop this, it's not going to be breaking straight away. So let's move over to this one. Holy shit. This one's a tad bit bigger. Let's have a look at that height difference, right? They're about that much. Oh, this one's about that much wider. Touch the focus with my nose. It's about that much wider. Didn't even work. It's a ton deeper. I'll just stand up for a second to show you that. So they're pretty much flush at the front, and there's a mad gap at the back. So much bigger, much bigger. That's about 42 kilos, so whatever that is to pounds. That's about 26. So anyway, let's have a look inside this enclosure. Sorry, that music might have been just pretty loud. I was just fairly close to my front of house speakers then. If we take a quick look, I know this song's going to be copyright, so let me quickly change that. Grills here. This is the one for the Bassboy. It's a pretty solid grill. It's got some curves, and it makes it actually quite a solid grill. And same with the other one. It's quite a simple grill, to be honest. Much different. We've got this bit here which goes over the port, and then we've got this bit of wood here, which if you look, there's the foam. I can't touch the focus, sorry. There's the foam there. That just slots into these slots here on the side. I'll look at this one actually. And it works as a brace for the port, so that just slides in like that. Then the port, the grill here screws in there and screws in up here, and that just braces it in the center. And it's a really smart design, and it works wonders actually. The grill's very strong. So let's have a look at this box. Let's pull this nice and close here. Maybe angle it down a bit. There we go. So turn that up some more, but I don't really think I need to. If we have a look down here, we've got the ports, which are pretty simple. They just go straight back, but the weird thing about this enclosure here is the ports aren't like your typical port. Like if we look at the ones here, they go back and they're all covered up. No, once it goes back into the box here, the ports are open. They're like right out in the open. So look, if I stick my hand in the port, you can see my hand here. It's quite different. I've never seen something like this before. Then it goes up the back, up the horn load, up the side, comes up the back. There's an aperiodic chamber back there for the amplifier to cool down as well, and then that vents up here and then comes out into where the back of the sub is. Insane design for this sub. It's ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it before, but I'm pretty sure I've said it. It works wonders. Now, also apologizing in this video if the mic ever clips. I've got my headphones monitoring now, unlike the last video where it was clipping quite often. It's quite difficult with a handheld mic to keep it the right distance away at all times. Gotta love the AVE branding. It's just insane subs. Plus, I love the finish. It's like the Duratec speaker cabinet, but like on camera and in real life, it just looks like drops of water. It's absolutely awesome. I love it. But yeah, that's the enclosures. Obviously, these subs are more even weight distribution. So the pole mount's in the front, whereas these weigh a ton at the back. I mean, that's in the middle, sorry. These weigh a ton at the back, so of course the AVE engineering is super smart. So they put the pole mount at the front, so you know, you'd have no issues with that. So we talked about the enclosures now. We've talked about the grills. Let's have a look at the amplifiers. So I'm just set that up there, and I'll sit down here. So let's start off with the Bassboy amplifier because it's much more simple. Let's bring the flash over. Bassboy amplifier has power consumption of 300 watts. It has 240 volt in, 50 hertz obviously, so Australian. Then ISC input, a power LED, which is annoyingly blue and bright, and you know my feelings towards bright blue lights. The clip light, unlike this one, doesn't have a signal light. Unfortunately, I love signal lights, but none of the AVE newer stuff has that anymore. You got your crossover from 60 to 150 hertz. The gain from minimum to maximum. Obviously, I like to have 0 dB and so, but I never seem to have that anymore. Phase switch, obviously 0 180. Power switch, I think it's the same on the other one. Same with the switch for the phase. The fuse, you can undo that if you want to take the fuse out if you've blown a fuse. Also the branding, the AVE Bassboy 2, and then very simple on this one, just a standard input and a standard output, just XLR cables, and then a reasonably sized I just called the heatsink an XLR, reasonably sized heatsink. So I'm just gonna drop this down like this, and let's just have a look at the actual amplifier board itself. I'll get that in the light here. Let's angle the light down a bit, and I just turned the light off by accident. Let's just take a look at this. I know this song's copyright, so I'm gonna skip it again. I think I just revealed the subs, but I'm gonna go over and back to the amplifier now. IEC inputs here, the relay and power switch there. Oh, no, that's the power switch. That's the fuse, sorry. Power switch here. Your XLRs, what's that? That's the phase switch. Yep. Then your potentiometers for your gain and crossover frequency. Let's just have a look at this board up close in HD. Then over here we've got the main amplifier board. Again, actually, I forgot they had these on the Bassboy. If you look at my video for the Bad Boy, I was raving about the caps. They're exactly the same in this one. Got good branded 4 massive capacitors. Well, not massive if we look at the size. Don't want to get too close because I had this plugged in not long ago, but they seem to be well insulated at the bottom, so I don't think I would be. Anyway, output transistors here. The output transistors for this board are actually mounted underneath the board. You can see it there, instead of on top or out to the side of the board like you typically see. Also a weird mounting mechanism for the what's he called, the toroidal transformer here. So that's something different. Pretty big, pretty solid sized. Nothing like the one that would be inside the CV900 or that, but again, nowhere near the power, so it's pretty overkill if you ask me. So that is the AVE Bassboy amplifier. Let's try and balance this against the wall without killing the wall too bad. Now let's have a look at the Bad Boys amplifier. Big Boys, sorry. I keep getting the two confused. Just know, this is the big box, that's the small box one. So, starting over here, we have, right off the bat, warnings. The surface may reach... Wow, oh my god, look at that spelling. Please tell me that's not supposed to be English. The surface may reach temperature. Look at that. Reich. Anyway, nevertheless, it doesn't get dramatically hot, so I don't think it needed the warning. But anyway, again, 240 volt, 50 or 60 actually on this one. Fuse, slightly different mounting for the fuse. Same power switch. Big heatsink. This one's a little bit more beat up. This one's been to probably 50 times the gig. 50 times the amount of gigs the other one's been to. Actually, I take that back. Probably about twice, 3, 4 times. But anyway, again, same thing. Crossover frequencies, I believe, 50 to 150, and we'll have a look at this one. So that's 60 to 150 crossover. This is 50 to 150. So slight difference there in the crossover. Gains minimum to maximum again. So you know my feelings towards that. Again, the AVE branding, the Big Boy instead of the Bassboy 2. Power light, signal light. Yes, I love that. Even though it doesn't come on very much, but anyway. Limiters, the clip light obviously, and actually I don't know why I said limiter, that's just a limit light if you have a look at that nice and close. Anyway, phase switch as per always, and here's where the amplifier starts to get interesting. Channel A, channel B, so you can run left and right inputs, and then you can run full range outputs to say if you had another sub, and then high outputs. So I've done a gig with 4 of these subs. And what I do is I run left in here, right in here, then I run the left. What do? I run left, full range over to the other side of the stage, and then I run the full range out of channel, like over to the next sub, and then the crossover to the front of house, and then obviously the full range out of the left channel would go over to the left sub, and then that would do the same with the full range going to another sub, and then the 100 Hz crossed over. Anyway, that's this amplifier. Let's flip it over. Again, big transformer. I think the capacitors are bigger on this one, but anyway, that doesn't really matter. Holy shit, look at the weight of the transformers, tipping it up like a boat. Anyway, again up the top with all the XLR inputs and stuff. Try not to get the flash dramatically in the shot. But again, same good brand capacitors. A lot more in this one actually than on the last one. I think that amp board's smaller though. Yeah, it is a little. The actual output modules are on the side instead of underneath like they are on the Bassboy. Sorry, these names are confusing as. Another transformer, reasonably sized. Power in, fuse, power switch. Yes, got it right that time. That's the Bad Boys amplifier. Is it Bad Boy? No, it's Big Boy. I don't even know. They're so confusing names. The Big Boy. It's upside down. I'm just going to leave it like that to prevent killing something. So, the most important bit to me, at least, the bit that I like the most, the drivers. That is the Big Boy's driver. That is the Bassboy's driver. As I said, I don't know if I said it at the start, the Bassboy plays lower, the Big Boy plays louder. So, driver kind of pretty much resembles why the driver on this one. Let's bring this up. Oh, shit, I turned it off again. And let's turn that up a bit, and let's angle this light down. Holy shit, that is hot. So, the Big Boy, yes, Big Boy's sub, pretty typical design. It's got the 2-roll surround, reasonably sized dust cap, reasonable amount of excursion here. Always push the center, don't push the side, you can risk putting the coil out of alignment. Pretty solid stuff here, as you'd expect. Push terminals, 8 ohms, 300 watts, there's your model number. Let me flip this sub over. And yeah, the cast frame, obviously, don't know why it wouldn't be a cast frame sub. It's bring that light back a bit. Then obviously, yeah, binding posts, kind of thin tinsel leads, but oh well, Pro Audio doesn't need much power to get loud. Really solid build quality here. Reasonably good size magnet, actually a very good size magnet. Vented pole piece, a very flimsy one. If we have a look here, if I just pull the focus, pretty flimsy, but that doesn't matter as long as it stays there, unlike the Skytech woofers I received where that was pushed in out of the box. But yeah, pretty solid. Obviously it looks like you could mount either way, or yeah, that's that. So that's the Big Boys driver there. Now let's have a look at the Bass Boys driver. Now the Bass Boys driver, right off the bat, has a dust cap the size of my hand. Look at it. Just look at it. That would be a typical size dust cap. That's massive. Also, one thing I'll just have a quick look at now. Let me lie this flash on its side for you. Coil. Reasonably sized coil. I think it's probably the same size as, no, the dust cap's slightly bigger than the coil is. I don't know why I just span a full circle with it then. But anyway, the Bass Boy sub has, and unfortunately, seeing this, foam high roll surrounds, so I don't know what the likelihood of these getting foam are, but that's always a chance, sadly, with having foam surrounds. But anyway, ginormous dust cap, doesn't seem easy to push in. Actually, it doesn't seem very easy at all to push in, so pretty solid dust cap off this speaker. Very clean excursion, unlike, well, no, not unlike this one. This one's clean as well. Don't know where I was going with that, but could hook these up, but I really can't be bothered doing free air on them. The mounting for the Bass Boy seems to be thicker. Yes, it is. You can see how much thinner this is here than that is. But anyway, let me flip this driver over. Holy shit, that is hard with one hand. And again, slightly different cast frame on this one. Push terminals yet again. Nice push terminals. I actually quite like push terminals. 300 watt 8 ohms. As I said, all AVE subs seem to be 300. Yeah, so as I was saying, I think even the drivers in the front of house are 300 watts. Sorry, I got interrupted, then I couldn't record for like half an hour or so. So it's like half an hour later, and I think that was what I was talking about. But anyway, here's the sub. Again, cast frame. I think I've said all this. Magnet, I think it's the same size as it have. They've both got the extended backplate for the coil to allow the subwoofer to move just slightly further. This one does have the grill, but it's further down. You can't really see it, but believe me, it's, oh, that doesn't look very good. I don't think that's supposed to happen. Let's maybe tighten that down a little bit more. Let's have a look. Yeah, there you go. You can see it there. It's in there. But yeah, that's the two drivers. I think I don't know if I'm going to muck around with putting each driver in the other box and see how that goes, but I think for now I might just put the subs back together, wrap up the video, and just maybe chuck in some sound tests between the two. I won't be going crazy loud. I might just make it like 110 dB at the back of the room or something like that, just to prove to you that this one plays lower and the other one's better at the higher stuff and got a better kick drum, and you'll see. But that's that. I'll start putting them back together. I might actually muck around with the other drivers and the other boxes. We'll have a look. I'll see what I can do. Just have a bit of fun. Anyway, actually, I don't think I'll put this one in the other box, but I might put this one in the Bass Boys box. Just because with the no, it's the Big Boys. Oh, the names are so confusing. If I put this in the Big Boys box, it means I have to install the amp second. And it's just so much effort just to try out a different sub in the box. So I might not do that. I might just play around and put this one in the other box, and we'll see how that goes. But for now, I'm gonna put back together this one. Actually, I'll do that now. I'll just muck around with it and see what I can do. So anyway, I'll be back in a sec, I guess. Alright, so test setup here. I've got the Trio sub. I actually decided I am going to do the amplifier power test. I won't worry about powering the drivers to see which one takes the most power, but I am going to do the amps. So I've got the Trio sub here because obviously the best sub to take power. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the back of the subwoofer here. I'm going to turn it up until the clip light comes on. Let me just touch the focus for you. Turn it up until the clip light comes on. So right there, stop it there. You can see the driver is moving, and we are doing 54 volts into an 8 ohm load. So let's turn that off. Sorry about the noise there of the headphones that I'm using for monitoring. Just slapping it around the place, it's quite hard to do this sort of stuff. And now I look for my phone. There it is. Let's pull this thing out, unlock the beast that is the outdated Nexus 6. Calculator, I forgot what it said, I think it was 54. 54 divided by 8 times 54. 364 watts, okay? Happy with that because it's rated 300 watts. Therefore, slightly underrated. Actually, I think they rate it for 350 watts RMS. So, there you go. That proves that not underrated, but it's not highly overrated. It's just, it's doing slightly more power than it says it does. So that's the Bassboy. So the Bassboy does 365 watts before clipping. Now let's have a look and let's figure out what the Bassboy does. I mean, the Bigboy. Same thing. I don't even know. That one. Let's see what that one does instead of that one. Well, that amplifier there. Let's see what that can do. Alright, so this time I just realized how bad the lighting is. This time I have the amplifier out in the open instead of tucked away in the enclosure, just because if you know about this little cable here, it isn't very long and it just causes issues. I have to mount the amp and then it's just... Anyway, it's out in the open. Subs there. I know if I push that to all the way up, that's just before clipping, so let's see what the number is on that. I didn't look at the number, but I know when it clips, so let's go all the way up. You can see the limit light is not coming on, and we're getting 62.8, so we can see the driver here, trio sub is going at it. So if I turn it one more volume up on the amp, you'll see the limit light comes on. So let's see if I can back it right back until that just turns off. Right there. Let's see what we've got. 62.9. So basically the same. It's not touching the focus. There we go. 60. I saw 63. So let's just go with 63. Actually, no. Let's not do that. Let's get the. Let's see. Let's go exactly what it was. It was 62. Touch the focus with my nose. 0.8 divided by 8. Times 62.8, 449 watts out of a driver that is rated, out of a amp that is rated, I believe, 300 watts. It doesn't actually say it on the back, but it's got a 300 watt driver in it, so definitely the Bigboy is doing more than its rated power. It's definitely an underrated sub. So that is it. I just wanted to prove that those aren't underrated at all. They're actually good quality stuff. Obviously that amp's slightly more beefy than the other one, but doesn't really bother me. It's like double the weight too. So anyway, let's put some music back on instead of this 40 hertz test tone, as we can hear. Just test showing you the front of house then. And let's go back to putting these back together. I'll just leave the front grills off, and we'll do some sound demos and stuff like that, and then I'll wrap the video up, because that video I uploaded the other day, unless I decide to re-edit it and compress it some slightly, was a 7 gig video, and it takes me a solid 24 hours to upload those size videos, so I'll probably re-render that after this and just compress it a little bit. But these long videos take me literally days to upload. So anyway, I think that was like 18 minutes or something, and I'm pretty sure I'm like in 20s already. So if you've made it this far, leave a comment that says Trio Engineering goodness, and we'll see how many people comment that, because I highly doubt anyone's made it this far. So do that, and you'll be sick. So anyway, let's get to putting these back together and leaving them off. I thought that amplifier was as powerful as it's like a lot more powerful, because whenever it was hooked up to that sub there, can you hear birds outside? Whenever it was hooked up to this 40 hertz test tone, it's so annoying. Sorry, I get distracted so easily. That when it was hooked up to that, you could see the sub sort of giving way. That amp's just obviously very powerful. And anyway, let's. There we go. So I'll put these back together and we'll do some sweet stuff with some free air. No, not free air at all. Just do some awesome bass stuff with these subs. Hopefully this video has been good and it's been very long and very interesting because it's just been weird shit the whole time. So anyway, here we go. Let's put these back together. All right, so I have the AVE subwoofer out of this enclosure in this box, and I can't tell because it's been a while since I listened to that one at full, but from what I'm hearing, this sub actually is doing, sorry, let me back up a bit, you can hear that clipping there. This sub's actually doing quite a good job in this box. Let's have a listen to this back here. That sounds okay, so let me turn this down again. It's not too bad. I'd have to have a listen to that one more time, but let's change the song here. Let's go with something a little bit different. Let's go, something like this will do. It's got a bit of lows, actually, nah. I always have this issue. I can never pick a song. Actually, that's a good song right there. Let's go with that one. Yeah, so driver seems alright. It's not insanely good. I really want to try that in that box, but that's just so much effort. Let's check, how am I clipping back here? I mean, how am I going, like, clipping wise? Actually, I should probably just do this, not videoing, but anyway. Yeah, it's not clipping, so let's have a listen back here. That sounds actually really nice. So anyway, I'm debating whether I try that out in that box, but I gotta screw the whole amp. Actually, let's just not screw the whole amp in. Actually, no, that'll cause air leaks. It's just so much effort. Is it worth it? No, because it's I don't know. Anyway, that sounds quite nice actually. I'll pull that woofer back out. And I'll debate whether I do it because I've already spent like 2 hours, 3 hours doing like 3 or 4 hours doing this video. So I've been on off, but just mucking around having fun. But still, we'll see what I do. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So I've had to switch cameras, and I know this camera is about to go flat anyway. But I've got the trio in the AVE Bigboy box, so after this I'll probably charge this phone, I'll swap it out, I'll put in my AVE, and then I'll put it back all together all nicely and stuff. But the trio in that box, although the 2 screws on the left side don't go all the way in, and there's a little rattle, if it was mine I'd force them in because there's pounds in there and I'd leave it in there. Because it's not, and because I'm not leaving it in there, I'm not going to risk damaging anything. But it absolutely pounds. So if you hear any vibrations, it's because 2 screws aren't fully in. Although they are pushing on the basket, it's just not enough. Let's have a listen to this beast pound in this enclosure. This is absolutely insane. It surprised the hell out of me. Pretty crazy. Anyway, I'm going to go stick this phone on charge. I'll hopefully be able to swap back to the other one. Probably not. You lose your 60 FPS now. But anyway, I will put that woofer in there. And let's see how that goes. Alright, so here we go again. And this time we have my AVE subwoofer in the box. Let me just turn the volume of my monitors up. There we go. This time we have the AVE subwoofer out of my enclosures in the sub box. And yeah, it looks really cool because of that giant dust cap it's got on it, and it actually fits in the enclosure. Well, yeah. So I'll be playing the same song as You Know by Oliver Heldens and Zed's Dead. I don't think I'm going to go as loud this time. I forget where clipping is. I forget if it was 16 or 18. But anyway, here's my AVE sub in there. Oh yeah, that was clipping it. Oh yeah, so definitely the trios, out of all the subs, the trios is definitely the most powerful sub to have in these enclosures. Considering the amp is doing nearly 500 watts and both these subs are rated 300 watts and that sub's rated 350, yeah, it explains why they're pretty much bottoming out on any sort of low note. That was really all I wanted to do, and now I'm going to put the other sub back in and then reassemble, sitting on a remote, reassemble both the other boxes and basically have everything how it was ages ago, and have wasted the last 4 or 5 hours mucking around with these subs. Anyway, that's it for the video, well, this part of the video. I'm going to assemble it all, everything will be back to normal, and then that's really it. I was going to do a comparison as far as the two subs, but no, can't be bothered. Oh, that's why it was bottoming out. 31 Hertz was turned all the way up. That probably means now I could get a shit ton more volume out of the sub without it bottoming out. Actually, I might try that now. I will be back. No, I won't be back. I can't be bothered editing that much. I might just stand at the back of the room, try this out one more time. Let's see how we go. Now without the mad 31 Hertz boost on. Still bottoming out, damn it. Anyway, that's that. I'll put that sub, yeah, I'm gonna get everything back to normal, and yeah, that's that video pretty much done. I'll just do a little outro after this, so yeah. Alright, so it's done and I'm wrapping this video up because I'm sick to death of working on these subs today. Had nothing but trouble with that one, putting it back together. I couldn't get the screws to fit in the holes because and then like the thread wouldn't work, and then the T-nuts were all messed up, and then I fixed all that, put the sub in, then of course the extension of the wire I put on had to be hitting the back of the sub, then I had to somehow, well, actually I used a pair of sunglasses to get the wire at the back and just pull it down, and so much effort, and then finally once that was done, I put the grill back on, and of course the 3 screws you can see there where you can actually see wood under them, those 3 there had to strip out, so the grill wasn't going in, so they're on an angle now, so they're in a new hole altogether. I had nothing but trouble putting that back together, but it's all done, and hopefully this has been a really long video but kind of interesting. If you've made it this far, I want you to comment Alice in Wonderland, because I'm absolutely loving her music. It is insane. I've been listening to that non-stop for like the last 2 weeks. But now I've got to go edit the video, but I don't know if anyone knows this situation, but for the 1080p 60 FPS content, I use the Zoom microphone for everything, so the microphone shouldn't change no matter what what camera I'm using. But I've been using Mum's 6S, but Mum is away today, so I've been using Dad's 6S, but Dad uses his 6S a lot more than Mum. Well, like he has it for business, so he gets phone calls and stuff on it. But he has his 6S, right? Wow, the S5 is terrible. So this is why I use the 6S. But yeah, so he has his phone, right? And it has some of the video that I need to edit on it, right? But he fell asleep. It's 2:30 in the afternoon. And he's asleep, so I can only edit some of the video now, and then I'll have to get that and then edit that, because as far as editing goes, all I've got to do is I render each individual cut of the videos. I paste the video in, match it up with the audio off the microphone, render that out, and then so I've rendered all those, and then I have the copies of the audio and the video together, mashed together, and then what I do is I render it into one big video. Like obviously if the microphone in the phone or whatever was really good, I'd only have to do the second half of that and it'd be so much easier, but I really much prefer the sound of this over the over like the standard phone microphone, because as much as I know I don't have to do anything really different. I find the video more entertaining and more enjoyable to watch when I use the zoom over, say, the phone microphone. It just sounds, my voice sounds like more drowned out and more drony, and just not as interesting to listen to. So anyway, turning all my lights off, so it is going to get grainy in here. Now you'll be able to see why I use lights. But yeah, actually it shouldn't be too bad because it's sunny outside. But yeah, that's a pretty major downgrade. But anyway, that is it for this extremely long video on that subwoofer and that subwoofer, and well, technically both, but that one in particular. Yeah, it's been one of those days where I've done nothing but mess with subs all day. Pretty much wasted a whole day, but it's been a long weekend, so it doesn't really matter. But anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.